Hi there. Yesterday I went to Chapters and I got a few books and I thought I would just share them with you today. I spent about $50, which isn't too bad considering I bought about 6 books. I started reading a few of them already and they're actually pretty awesome. So the first one is called Screwed by Eoin Colfer. And this is more of mystery thriller, but it's very humorous. The way that it's written, the language that the author uses, very witty. I actually really love it. So it follows the main character named Dan McEvoy. He's Irish, I believe, and it's just all about the craziness that he ends up getting involved in. I guess he's kind of down on his luck right now, and he's dealing with an Irish kingpin, and he has an odd relationship with the female character in the book. I really like it so far. The author does a great job of keeping your attention because, as I mentioned, it's so witty and just really, really silly. So I'm really excited to continue reading this book. The next one is called Things a Little Bird Told Me, and it's by Biz Stone, who's the co-founder of Twitter. It gives us a little bit of a glimpse into Biz's life and what kind of led him into eventually developing Twitter. But what I like is it really discusses all of the challenges he faced along the way and all of the failures that experienced, and that's what kind of makes it that rags to riches type of story. When he was in high school, he tried out for many of the sports teams and he never made them, and he realized that lacrosse was one of the few sports that didn't exist at his school at the time. And so he figured that if he got enough guys and a coach to create a lacrosse team, everyone would be on the same playing field, which is pretty smart. And he ended up making the team and becoming captain. And that's a really neat message to take home. The next book is called The Darlings by Cristina Alger. It basically follows a family who kind of gets involved in a scandal. And some prominent themes in this book: wealth, power. So it's just really interesting, and it was only $5, so I thought that'd be a neat read. The next book is called Glitter and Glue by Kelly Corrigan. And it follows the story of a young female. This quote that her mom always used to say to her, which was, "Your father's the glitter, but I'm the glue," in the sense that she can relate to her father in that humorous and everything's always positive, that type of way. But at the end of the day, what's keeping the family together is her mom. And so now, as she's an adult, she's keeps remembering that as she's facing her own challenges in life and as she's entering into womanhood and potentially and having a family, and she's kind of re-exploring that idea and how it applies to herself as she's now in the position that her mom was in when she was a young child. So New York Times bestselling author, that's not always the case that it's going to be a guaranteed good book in a sense, but it always helps, I think, in some way, because it means that it's been recognized as a worthwhile read. But then again, of course, I'm sure there are many books that people have read, even that I myself have come across, that are probably not as recognized as your bestsellers. But when you've only got a short amount of time to select books, there are certain criteria that I just try to look for. The Witch of Belladonna Bay by Suzanne Palmieri. And this really intrigued me when I read the back right here. It follows the story of Bitsy Wynn, or her real name is Bronwyn Willen, and she's from Alabama. And she hasn't really been there in a very long time, but now she finds herself back in her hometown because of a murder trial that involves her brother and her childhood friend. And a good mystery novel, a good thriller. I also like that idea of returning home after having not been there for a very long time, taking that walk down memory lane. And then the last book is called The Map and the Territory: Risk, Human Nature, and the Future of Forecasting by Greenspan. And this is, of course, nonfiction. It's based on Alan Greenspan's account of the financial crisis and the economic decision making that occurred and what we can learn from the situation that we created for ourselves during that time. So overall, those are the 6 books that I bought. I also went on Amazon and got a few more books. 2 of them are by Jesse Adler Olson, and he writes the Department Q novels. I've read The Keeper of Lost Causes, which is amazing. I might do a review on that one day. So I got 2 of those ones. I'm waiting for those to come. And I also purchased the Mindy Kaling books. So I've heard great things about them. When I was in chapters the other day, I kind of read through the first few pages and was pleasantly surprised by how witty her writing is. But of course, that makes sense, seeing as I've watched her show, and it's pretty funny. I think one is called Why Not Me, and the other one is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me? I think that's what the other one's called. So I ordered both of those, 3 of the thrillers and 2 Mindy Kalings. I think that's a good balance to have. Whenever I read, I like to, even within one day, within 1 hour, I kind of jump between books. It's not necessarily that I get sick of the book. I do a few chapters unless I'm really, really engrossed in the book. But yeah, so like last night, for example, I was reading the Twitter book, and then I jumped back and forth between Screwed, the mystery novel. So I'm not sure if anyone else does that, but that's just something I do sometimes. So if you've read any of these books, or if you've heard of them, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll probably make a video on a review of one of these books when I'm done. So thanks for watching. Bye.